some confidence in this game that was so desperately needed.
You ready for my crazy Case Colt comparison that I know you're going to love?
Probably not, but I think I have to do it anyway.
Yeah, Case McCoy completing 76% of his passes this season, on pace to tie his brother's record that he set back in 2008 at 76% for the highest completion percentage ever in a single season of college football. You love that one, don't you?
I do. I think it puts way too much pressure on our current quarterbacks. What I would say is that Case had a great game and Colt had a great career. So we'll wish Case well next week as well.
We just like to get you smiling and just get you talking about that just a little bit. Now with the tight ends, I know this is something great to talk about when you consider DJ Grant and Blaine Irby, the contributions they made coming off those very serious knee injuries. We saw a lot of them. They were easy to see from DJ Grant. Talk about him and what we didn't see from Blaine Irby and what it means.
Well, first, this is an offense. It's a tight end's dream. 4 of our tight ends graded winning performances Saturday against UCLA. So they're getting to play and they're getting to do fun things. They have to block, they're in motion, they shift, but they can also catch the ball downfield. There was a question mark of whether DJ Grant and Blaine Irby would ever play football again. People forget DJ had 2 knee operations, and you can see the big brace on his right knee as we're watching him play here. Both of those guys were so significant Saturday. You didn't notice Blaine's significance, but he got the corner for us on all those sweeps and power runs to the outside. He did a tremendous job blocking, and he and Dominic Jones and Barrett Matthews and Blaine Irby were tremendous players for us.
And with those 3 touchdowns for DJ Grant, that ties the record for a Texas tight end in a single game, 3 touchdowns. So a record performance for DJ Grant as Texas gets the win. Let's go back to our Time Warner Cable Play of the Week. And this is why we call Case McCoy Crazy Legs Case McCoy, because you look at the box score, you see the man has only 2 yards rushing, but you can tell from this play he can use his legs as well. 3rd and 18 to Mike Davis for 25 yards. A play later, it was a touchdown to DJ Grant. More to come here on Rewind for the coach, Mack Brown. Malcolm Brown, a huge impact. Why we can't call him the man of steel and what he does best for a true freshman.
The Play of the Week is brought to you by Time Warner Cable. We're moving technology forward to bring you back to what matters most.
Mariachis. They don't play here, they eat here. Because Taco Cabana is where you get the real flavors of Mexico. Like the new Fajitas Puebla. Grilled steak or chicken topped with fresh lettuce, a creamy avocado sauce, pico de gallo, and chopped bacon. That's tasty. You guys like it? I'll take that as a yes. That's life on the patio. That's TC.
Check out these seats for this weekend's game.
Scoring your dream tickets is no longer a fantasy, even on the day of the event, even if it's sold out. StubHub, where do you want to sit?
Longhorn Extra is the place to get your daily dose of Texas sports.
You want your team to have a killer instinct, so when you got somebody down, finish it.
With the latest scores, highlights, and analysis, plus first-hand interviews with UT coaches and players.
In the first half, the defense played their guts out.
Breaking news, we got it. Injury updates, we got it. Players to watch, we got it. Longhorn Extra, weekdays at 10 p.m. exclusively on Longhorn Network.
Bevo loves Texas as much as he loves hay, and Bevo really, really loves some hay. That's why he's so happy about the Longhorn Network. He's got a big old flat screen in his trailer so he can keep up. 24-hour coverage of all things UT. Bevo barely controls excitement. I mean, look at him.
So let me get this straight. You eat some grass from every field you guys play on?
It makes me one with the field. You guys should try it. Might take your show to another level.
I don't know, Coach. Yeah, I think I may have to sit this one out.
Hey, Coach, this fescue or bent grass?
Fescue.
Delicious. Fescue.
ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturdays at 9 a.m. on ESPNU. Continues at 10 a.m. on ESPN.
I've never caught anything in this old pond, but what I am catching is live sports. With WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app, I get ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, ESPNU, and more live on my computers, iPads, and iPhones. Fish ain't biting. Time to get the dynamite.
Watch ESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. The ESPN networks, live anywhere.
Welcome back to Rewind with Mack Brown. Notable first in this 3-0 start with a win against UCLA. Carrington Bindum, his first career interception. Texas secondary looking like a group of ball hawks out there. Case McCoy to DJ Grant. This was the first career passing touchdown for McCoy. First career touchdown for DJ Grant as well. DJ, that would start his day to 3 touchdowns, tying the single-game record for tight ends at Texas. Malcolm Brown lost a shoe, but picked up his first career touchdown in the process as well, and multiple bruises left on that UCLA defense as well. So you look at the true freshman running backs in the bowl subdivision this season. Malcolm Brown right where he should be, tied with Isaiah Crowell for the most rushing yards by true freshmen this season. Coming into the year, Crowell, the #1 ranked running back in the ESPNU 150. Malcolm Brown right behind as the #2 running back prospect. And, Coach, how do you like the nickname for Malcolm Brown, Man of Steel, S-T-E-E-L-E, as in Cibolo Steel High School?
I think that fits. He just won the state championship for steel, and I think they would really appreciate that down around the San Antonio area.
There we go. We've got that. I'm a San Antonio guy, too, so anytime we can get that kind of respect, that's where we go with. Your team now 114-4 when outrushing the opponent. Remarkable. But you had some questions. You said coming into this game, you weren't sure if Malcolm Brown was a real deal, but now you know. What changed your mind against UCLA?
Well, we thought he was the real deal or we wouldn't have recruited him. But you go back and look against Rice. He's in the second half, and Rice was tired, and he made some great plays. He comes in and does the same thing against Brigham Young. Still not sure about Brigham Young, but when you come into this game and look at this play right here to start, he's hit with a 1-yard gain. He makes it a 5- or 6-yard gain. And he does this throughout the day. Yards after contact is what's so important for a running back. Power sweep. He's hit again 1 yard, 2 yards from the first down marker. He's 3 yards past the first down marker. Great backs always fall forward. Contact here at the 5-yard line, or at the 10-yard line, excuse me. He's got contact again at the 1, and he powers himself into the end zone for the touchdown.
52 carries on the year. Only 4 of those carries have not gained positive yardage. What does that tell you about a young man?
A great running back like Malcolm, like the Cedric Bensons, always fall forward. They never put you in long yardage situations. If you run the ball on 1st and 10 and you end up being 2nd and 10, that's hard play call. If you're 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6, you've got a chance on 2nd and 3rd down to make your first down more easily.
Well, let's go back inside the game, this time with your defense. We saw a little earlier in the highlights, Jackson Shipley with a 7-0 lead fumbles the punt. So UCLA takes over 19 yards away from tying the game very early on. What happens with your defense in this series?
Well, this is a sudden change. You have to come in and make a play immediately. So they stop them on 1st down, but the ball's obviously at the 19-yard line. Momentum has changed. Great play here by Keenan Robinson to stop Franklin from the long gain. Now it's 3rd down. You got to come up with the right blitz. Manny Diaz dials it up. We'll see here. Keenan Robinson is free. He forces the quarterback's hand a little bit early. You also see, you'll see him hit him here. Left of your screen, you start looking at Blake Gideon. He tips the ball, and then we come back, and Adrian Phillips gets the interception. Then you change and turn the ball up on your offense. Everybody has to block high, moving forward. So we take what could have been a touchdown throw, what could have been a score for them. We turn it into a game back to the 30-yard line. Our offense gets the ball, drives it down and scores, and puts us up by 14. 14-point swing just by the sudden change turnover.
Well, we talk a lot about your offense, how fun it is for players to play in that system. When you look at the defensive tape, a lot of pressure. We see guys like Randall getting an opportunity to come across the edge. Robinson, Ajo dropping back in secondary. Guys from the defensive line doing that. What's it like for a defensive player as far as a level of excitement for them to do so many different things?
It's really fun. Our guys are having a great time learning this system on both sides of the ball, and putting it into place. They're having a blast, and you can't play football without having fun. It is a game. Last year we didn't have enough fun. That's one of the keys to be 3-0 right now. Our guys are enjoying the coaches are enjoying the players. We're all enjoying playing.
Yeah, and most of the time you guys enjoying playing a game in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. For the 4th time Texas plays at the Rose Bowl over the past 8 years. That record 3-1, a point not lost on Kenny Mayne.
The Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, the house that TCU built. It was here I made the greatest mistake of my life. Actually, it wasn't here. Well, I mean, I was here, and then I wasn't. The year was 2006. USC had won 34 straight and 2 straight national titles. Texas had won 19 in a row in the Rose Bowl the year before. I wasn't at that game, but this time I had a seat on the 50-yard line.
Now it's put-up time.
I'm nowhere near the 50-yard line right now. In fact, I'm not sure they'll ever let me in those seats again, because as I sat in my seat that night, I realized I needed my rest. I was performing the next night on Dancing with the Stars. When I told my friend Tom that I was leaving, he looked at me like this. What he didn't say said a lot.
I looked in the stands and saw that Kenny had left already. I guess he had something better going on, something better than the greatest college game ever played.
I awoke the next morning to a mountain of texts and voicemails congratulating me for attending the greatest game in the history of sports. A few people wished me luck with my routine also. Then this happened.
That was demented. It was like Pinocchio chasing GPT cricket across the room. It couldn't have been more wooden.
As I stood there taking the constructive criticism, well, I didn't listen to a word he said. I was concentrating on the quick step for next week. My mind wandered to the game the night before and what might have been.
People don't realize this, but Kenny really almost changed history. Because when Vince Young scored with 16 seconds left, he pointed in the stands to where Kenny was sitting. When he realized Kenny had left, it really bothered Vince, and he got very distracted. Thank goodness we didn't have to go to overtime.
I saw Kenny in the dancer show the next day. I think he could have stayed the whole 3rd quarter, and he still would have been okay.
Years later, I'm still haunted by the choice I made. I still love dancing and makeup. So each year I return to the scene of the worst decision of my life.
I just lost complete respect for him. He doesn't know anything about being an athlete, being a competitor, and it was a disgrace.
One of the greatest football games of all time, and he walks away. Give me a break. A wanker, that's what he is.
And so I've returned to the Rose Bowl to offer my apology to all those I might have offended for my actions that night. Selvin Young, I apologize. Lance Armstrong and Earl Campbell. Randall Cunningham, will you forgive me? Warren Moon, I am shamed. I am shamed. They'll never let me in there.
I'm sure there's an apology in there for you as well. Do you accept that apology from Kenny Mayne?
Absolutely not. Some things you just can't forgive someone for.
The dancing or leaving?
Both.
How about you on Dancing with the Stars? How are your moves these days?
I think it would be worse than Kenny, so I think we need to keep doing what we're doing.
Okay, you know, I'm having fun with the show, so let's just keep on rolling on with Rewind with the coach, Mack Brown, coming up. Fozzie Whitaker, why this man is obsessed with Captain America. You'll find out right here on Longhorn Network.